Good evening, our beloved viewers. You are watching our live RTD channel. Welcome to this English news edition. Here are the top stories. Reviewed of the national contribution for an ecological future. And on the international scenes, the race against extinctions identified. Those were the headlines. Thanks for joining us in our newsroom. The Prime Minister Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed received today in his office the Algerian ambassador Mr. Mohamed Erkay in a farewell visit after the end of his diplomatic mission in our country. During the meeting, the Algerian diplomat presented an overview of the various programs that have been implemented together within the framework of faithful partnership existing between the two countries. The Prime Minister congratulated the Algerian diplomat on the wonderful work he had accomplished during his mission in Djibouti. He wished him a continued success in his future professional career. For his part, the Algerian ambassador, Mr. Mohamed Erkay, thanked the government for the warm welcome and support throughout his diplomatic mission. This meeting was attended by the head of Prime Minister's office, Mr. Ali Silai. The Minister of Interior, Mr. Saeed Nur Hassan, accompanied by the Executive Secretary of the Office National Relief for Refugees and Victims, Mr. Hussein Hassan Darar, headed to the Swiss capital Geneva to participate in the work of a 74 session. The Executive Committee of the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, which will be held from 7 to the 13th of October in Geneva. The Djiboutian delegation accompanying the Minister of Interior was received by the Ambassador of the Customs and Plenipotentiary of the Republic of Djibouti in Geneva, Ms. Khadra Ahmed Hassan, who was elected during the 73rd session as a chairperson of the Office of the Committee Executive High Commissioner Program.
A very warm greeting to all of you, and especially to those who have traveled from their respective capitals to join us today. As you may know, there are approximately 108.4 million individuals around the world who are displaced as a result of persecution, conflict, generalized violence, and human rights violations. This is an increase of 19 million from when we met a year ago. To put things into perspective, it is also significantly more than double the 42.8 million who were displaced a decade ago in 2013. This scenario has resulted in enormous challenges for humanitarian organizations like UNHCR. The role of the Executive Committee in helping UNHCR address these challenges remains catalytic in this respect, and I look forward to the thoughts you will bring to bear on this subject in our plenary session this week. Before we begin the formal program, I would like to say just how privileged and honored I have been to preside over the Executive Committee of the High Commissioner's Program during the past year. I have had the opportunity to see close up the important work that UNHCR is doing together with its committed partners, particularly during my field visit to Colombia in May of this year.
For his part, the Minister of Interior, Mr. Saeed Nur Hassan, delivered a speech at the starting with his warm congratulations to the chairperson of the Office of Executive Committee of the Commissioner Program. He referred to the Republic of Djibouti, which is in the process of implementing the formal commitment to integrate refugees in a society for our country, he said. In a response, the High Commissioner of Refugees praised the effort of the Republic of Djibouti, and he said the integrating refugees in all file in his opening remarks. The High Commissioner Office of the Program Committee noted that the importance of the opening of the work to the 74th session of the Executive Committee of the High Commissioner's program. He welcomed all the participant delegations and guests and indicate that there is something nearly 108 million people in the world have been displaced as a result of persecutions, conflicts, war spread, violence, and human rights violation, in which an increase of 9 million compared to last year's. He also added that this represents more than a number of displaced people 10 years ago. The situation creates serious difficulties of humanitarian. The United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, he said. Within the framework of the annual Marrakech meeting of the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund, the Minister of Economic and Finance in charge of Industry, Mr. Ilyas Moussa Dawali, participated in a roundtable on financing education in time of multiple crises organized by the World Bank and chaired by the Marrakech Vice President of the World Bank for Human Development. This important event provides an opportunity to discuss countries' experience challenges forced in managing the level and effectiveness of investment in education in the context of fiscal procedures, while facing the urgent need to recover the accelerate learning. A high-level committee made up of diverse groups, ministers, discussed the matter of finance and education ministries, how to increase the volume and effectiveness of spending, the start recovery and acceleration of learning process. This event built on the generated by a similar event held during this meeting. In his speech, the Minister of Economic and Finance, Mr. Ilyas Moussa Dawali, he said in his speech that Djibouti's experience in financing education, especially skills development to improve job opportunities for Djiboutian youth. The 2023 World Bank and International Monetary Fund spring meeting and support the entire international and national education community, said the minister, which met within the committee UNESCO high-level guidelines to express the need for conversations on an active platform for a discussion on education financing between the Minister of Finance and Education, conclude the minister. Within the framework of the annual meeting of the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund, he participated the Djiboutian delegation led by the Minister of Economic and Finance in charge of Industry, Mr. Ilyas Moussa Dawali, which include the Minister of Budget, Ousmane Ibrahim Roble, the government of Central Bank, Mr. Ahmed Ousmane, and the Ambassador Plenipotentiary for the Republic of Djibouti to the Kingdom of Morocco, Mr. Mohamed Tahir, and a number of officials in various finance industries participated in the meeting. The second African groups of the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank. This meeting contribute to strengthen the group's solidarity and searching for a solution the common challenges facing African countries. During the discussion, the governor took common positive and position to defend their interests, African countries, and their preservations in this period of development of a global economic and development process in African countries. The Minister of Environment and Sustainable Development launched this morning in cooperation with the program United Nations Development Workshop on mitigation negative impact and adaptation to climate change. The opening ceremony, which was assured by the Minister of Environment and Sustainable Development, Mr. Mohammed Abdul Qadir Musa Helem, participating as a representative of the United Nations Program Development and Secretaries General of various ministerial departments. The aim of this workshop was to conduct a detailed analysis of the nature and procedures, the proposed project, both in terms of adaptations, mitigation, and verification of these available solutions clearly meet our goals to combat climate change. The ministry faithful and the obligation undertaken by Djibouti under the agreements Paris and on climate change with the aim of reducing greenhouse gas emissions and promoting the country's ability to confront the effort and effect of climate change. The representative of the United Nations Development Programme in her speech said that it is my pleasure to address you today on the occasion of the launch of workshop to review the commitment of the Republic of Djibouti regarding the defined contribution at the national and international level. The defined contribution represent national and international commitment, she said. The government of Djibouti within the framework of a Paris Agreement on climate change. This is intended, the agreement aims to reduce greenhouse gas emission and strengthen the capacity of countries to confront climate change. The Republic of Djibouti, under the leadership, has done great work and implementation. Its commitment set out on at the national and international level since 2015, demonstrating its commitment to the goals of the Paris Agreement. It is worth noting that although Djibouti is not one of the main greenhouse gases, but also the countries contribute significantly to reduce these emissions. For his part, the Minister of Environment and Sustainable Development, Mr. Mohammed Abdul Qadir Musa Helem, noted in his speech and indicate that the Republic of Djibouti has ratified all relevant treaties combating climate change and submit to the Secretary of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change its initial report in August 2015. This report and this reflects the commitment of the country's willingness to participate effectively in the global effort to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and meet its national need in the file of adaptations, said the minister. The Djiboutian ambassador to Belgium, Mr. Aden Mohamed Dileita, present his credential letters. Non-resident ambassador plenipotentiary of the Queen of Denmark, Djiboutian ambassador to Belgium, Mr. Aden Mohamed Dileita, presented his credential to the Queen Margaret II. In Denmark, the ambassador extraordinary and plenipotentiary non-resident for the Kingdom of Denmark, he discussed with the King of Denmark the bilateral relation between the two countries and ways to strengthen it. All file, Mr. Dileita conveyed the greeting of the President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Mergele, to the Queen of Denmark. The Minister of Youth and Culture celebrated the National African Youth Day on the 1st from November every year. In this regard, the Republic of Djibouti has commemorated this day for the 5th years in the row, similar to the rest of the world. The Youth Day aims to empower young people and raise their awareness, mobilizing them to become aware of important issues in the countries and providing them with the interior interest shown by the government, especially the President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Mergili, generations within the vision and policies related to promote youth firmly towards the future. This day composite of a message calling on young people to confront the challenges they face on the horizon together. This youth festival challenges is an important dynamic around business synergy. All ministerial departments attend to this event. Co-chaired by Mr. Abdulrahman Awali Yassin and Kaltun Farah Said, held the Foreign Affairs Committee and Parliamentary and Legislations and Administration Committee, the Public and Human Rights today, Wednesday, the 11th of October, an important session to discuss a draft law related to the ratification of Union Agreement of African Conference on Cybersecurity and Personal Data Protection. This meeting witnessed the participation of representative members of two committees in addition to other officials concerned with the matter. The Minister Delegate in charge of digital economic also attended to this session and innovation, Miss Mariam Hamadu, accompanied by her close assistants after consecutive discussion between members of parliament and executive authorities. The representative agreed to refer this discussed project to a plenary session. The Secretary General for the Ministry of Health, Mr. Muhammad Ali Muhammad, shared the opening event workshop on accelerating regional health policy decision for 3 days at the Sini Hill Center Hotel in Arta region. The workshop, which was organized in cooperation with the government bodies, aims to identify and accelerate the decisions and directive of the regional health policies and the relevant intergovernmental bodies with the development. This meeting was scheduled to bring together ministries of health officials and authorities experts to the intergovernmental on development obstacles to access implement the roadmap of activities identified by 2014, including the capacity building and rescued need, but also require for this purpose. The specific objective of this workshop are to develop a list of policies and cross-border regional health agreement and memorandum of understanding that have been developed over the past 2 years. The reviewed and document of implementation status on national and regional level in overcoming policies for these issues.
Facilities, the cross-border health facilities in Djibouti serve populations from across the borders in the spirit of the aspirations and vision of our leaders when they founded IGAD. The IGAD Secretariat has and will always prioritize the cross-border areas in the region.
The Secretary General of the Ministry of Health stressed in his speech that this workshop aimed to evaluate our previous activities and achievement, but also above all to launch a project, a new ambition focusing on the sustainability of a health system. This workshop also aims to identify the factors that support integration into the law, the local and effective implementation of policies, agreement, and memorandum of understanding on regional health policies at the national level. Studies and analysis identifying the challenge that integrate the local law and implement the regional policies, but also to develop procedures and to improve policies integration in the regional level. The Secretary General of the Ministry of National Education and Vocational Training, Mr. Mohammed, praised Mr. Mohammed Abdullah Mahyoub preside a ceremony accompanied by the General Director of the Basic Education Teacher Training Center known as Umar Gili Ahmed, and also the Inspector General of the educational level. This workshop on the framework methodologies for the national policy for customer training for employees and ministries. It should be noted that this workshop is supported by the French Agency Development and was activated by 2 international experts from the International Agency for Francophonies. The objective of this workshop are to implement the ministry's desire to ensure quality of education process and reducing academic failure. Therefore, the importance grid in the file of education. This workshop, which also aims to confront the inequality between students and teachers gap in the improving innovations and achieving the expectation of educational institution, because of the current system of continuing education no longer achieve the expected results are where the educational action plan should be in the relation with the continuous training able to meet different expectation in order to enhance and improving the teaching knowledge. For the international scenes, the British newspaper Daily Mail reported that humanity is facing a loss of about half of future medicines because many plants face extinctions. According to a new report, nearly half of all following and plants, there are about 100,000 species of on Earth that are threatened with extinctions of plant, since most medicines are based on plant compound. Scientific estimated that since 45% of flowering plants are at the risk of extinction. It means a human will risk losing a huge potential source of medicines in the future. According to the newspaper, these results were contained in the report on the state of plant and in the world, a major report prepared by scientists in the University of Kiev also warn many plants will become extinct before they do discovering them. This is it for this edition. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful evening.